So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a Brilliant Businesses podcast. My name is Nick Bryant, and I'm very pleased to be joined today by David Blackmore from Blackmore Business Solutions. Hi, Dave.
Afternoon, Nick.
How are you? All right?
Yeah, really good, thank you.
Good,
really
good to see you. So, Dave's business is a consulting, coaching, mentoring, training, and leadership business for businesses. He's also the chairman of Eastbourne Borough Football Club, so he's a very busy man.
Yeah.
But if you could start off, Dave, by telling us how you got into coaching, perhaps, how your journey started.
Yeah, so it's a very new venture for me, Nick, this year, really and truthfully. So I've got a background of operations. I had 14, 15 years with Mitchells and Butlers, running pubs, restaurants, hotels, etc.
Okay.
And then for the last 15 years, I've worked in the motorway service industry.
Right.
Running motorway service areas.
Okay.
So, and looking after everything involved in that. So
it's good grounding.
Yeah, so good grounding, but I've always done leadership training and management training along the way.
Okay.
It's always been something that's been a passion of mine, is developing people. So it just felt the right time to come out and venture into that marketplace, really. Okay. And do it with an operational background to it.
Yeah. So that's post-COVID. So were you planning that through COVID, or was it just...
Not really.
No,
I think COVID was quite challenging in the workplace. I worked all the way through COVID.
Yeah.
And coming out the other end, I think a lot of people reevaluated life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Myself included, and thought, right, actually, now feels like the right time.
Yeah.
It feels like the time to go out and spread into a new marketplace.
Yeah. So in your old roles that you were just talking about, training people and managing people was a big part of it, which is taken away.
Just huge. I mean,
right.
It's probably the biggest part of the job, really.
Okay.
Is making sure that you're developing people, making sure you've got the bench strength to have that progression in place in the business, and also following up and making sure that the training has landed.
Yeah.
Which is something that I make sure I do now as well. So if ever I run any leadership courses, it's always with a proviso of follow-up coaching visits and follow-up to make sure that the training has landed in the workplace.
Right, and they're using it properly and in the best way for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So did you when you worked with the football club, you turned that round a bit, I believe. Have you tell us about that?
Yeah, so the football club, when I took over as chairman, was in quite dire straits, to be honest with you.
Right.
We went into the national papers to state quite how badly off we were.
Right.
And it's been quite interesting that I've been able to use a lot of my business acumen and my business background and change management philosophies just to help ease things along and progress things through at the football club.
Okay.
And thankfully we're now in a very, very good position.
Yeah.
And doing fantastically in the league as well as off the pitch. So
Yeah, that's good. And you obviously a football lover, or you wouldn't be involved in that, I guess.
Absolutely.
That's
probably my main passion outside of work.
Is it?
So,
yeah, that's good. So with what you do at the moment, what sort of businesses are you looking for? What sort of businesses do you help? Is it anyone or?
It's anybody that's got people working for them.
Okay.
Really and truthfully.
Okay.
I think obviously I have a hospitality and retail background.
Yes.
So I have a main area of expertise in those businesses.
Okay.
But leadership is leadership and management is management.
Yeah.
And I think that whatever industry you're in, if you're leading people, then there's a need to train people. Yeah,
absolutely. We were speaking earlier about the recruitment sort of side of things at the moment, and how important it is to keep staff, because there's so many jobs out there that people can come and can go and get. So that it's important the businesses to keep their staff, and if they train them properly and manage them properly, they're going to, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think, truth be known, when most people talk about a recruitment issue, they probably haven't got a recruitment issue. What they've got is a retention issue.
Right, yes, yes.
And actually, one of the best ways to retain your people is to make them feel valued, make them feel fantastic about working in the business they're already in.
Yeah.
And if you're training and developing people, showing them a pathway, showing them progression,
and
actually doing that with some strong leadership skills from the top, then you're more likely to retain your staff and not have that recruitment issue.
Yeah. Talk us through perhaps... when you go into a business, how you approach it. Is it like 15 people around a table? Is it just a one person? Or
it varies. And that's what I love about it. Actually, it can. Last week I was dealing with a one-on-one situation.
Right.
But at the same time, I run situational leadership courses that are part of my channel partnership with the Blanchard organisation.
Yes.
And that can be up to 16 people in
right.
a room.
Okay.
And each is as powerful as the other, if I'm honest.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess every business is different, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're going to need different things.
Yeah, it depends on the size of the business, and if it's a business that's got multi branches,
Yeah,
then obviously they could be putting more people on the courses.
yeah. How do you market your business? You network a bit.
I network.
Yeah.
I go to networking events. Obviously, quite heavily on LinkedIn.
Yes.
That seems to be a very good place.
Okay.
And looking at things like this, Nick.
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
is a great way to start marketing yourself, isn't it? And looking at podcasts and bits like that. But most of it will come from word of mouth and people knowing who to go to in the marketplace. I'm very lucky that I've got channel partners. Two very strong channel partnerships, one with the Ken Blanchard organisation, which is a world-renowned training company, and their courses are delivered worldwide and have been for many a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember studying that back 28 years ago.
Yeah,
so,
right.
And the other with a company called Mastering Multi-Units, or MMU, who I was lucky enough to be on a couple of their courses myself.
Right.
And now that I'm in the same kind of marketplace, I've got channel partnership with them, and I can deliver their courses or refer people to them and do things that way.
Yeah. I think the word of mouth is the most powerful thing, isn't it? If you do a good job for someone and then they tell the others about that, then that works really well. And we're actually in the Eastbourne Chamber of Commerce offices today because they've been great supporting my business as well as yours, and really helpful with us using their facilities. And I know you network with them, as do I. They're really
absolutely
good. Tell us a bit about the future. What your plans? Where you're going with it all?
I think the future will be wherever it takes it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
If I'm honest,
who knows what the future's going to do?
Who knows? I think listen. I think I will go anywhere in the UK. I'll do courses internationally. So I think I came out with very open views about where it would go and where it would take me.
Yeah.
And I think very early on, I realised that I couldn't just do business coaching and consulting. I needed to do what I was good at.
Yeah.
One of the things I was very keen on was I was only ever going to deliver content that I 100% believed in and bought into. But I've now built up to the point where I've got that content.
Yeah.
Where the business goes from there, who knows? And if it needs to grow, then we'll grow.
Yeah. One thing that I do ask people, and is why should people use you? What are your strengths?
I think one of the strengths that I've got is that operational background. So there's an awful lot of people out there doing learning and development and training courses, and it's not to say that they don't do a fantastic job, because they do.
Yeah.
But there's very few people with 28, 29 years operational experience.
Absolutely.
Of area managership, regional managers, running businesses on a day-to-day basis that then move into the L&D environment. So I think that's where I have a promoter, if you like, is that I have that operational background. So when I'm talking on courses, I can generally understand what issues people are coming up with, and I can talk to them about that with some background.
Yeah, some background and some confidence, because you've been there and seen it and done it.
Absolutely.
Been involved in it.
And on those follow-up visits as well. I'm used to being an area manager. I'm used to being a regional manager. So I can go into businesses and talk to them and give some advice and spot things differently. We all have a different viewpoint. We all have different eyes. Yeah. But I can do that with an operator's background. So that's probably where my difference comes.
Yeah. What do you like about it the most?
I just love getting up and motivating people. Helping people. It's always been all through my career. The thing I'll talk about most is the people that I've developed and the people that I've helped grow. And I have a strap line on my cards, fully realise your potential.
Okay.
And unleash your potential.
Nice.
And I genuinely, whether it's in football or whether it's in business actually, I've always had that philosophy of just helping people fully realise their potential. Yeah. And probably one of my proudest things is how many people that I've helped develop over the years that I'm still in contact with. Right. Yeah. That says it all right there, doesn't it? Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Dave, that's great. Thank you. It was really great for you to come on the podcast and to hear more about your business and what you're up to. And brilliant. I wish you all luck in the future, and we'll keep talking about stuff. So fantastic. So thanks everyone for listening. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe.
All Dave's details will be on the Brilliant Businesses website underneath this podcast and underneath this YouTube video. If you need any help on consulting, coaching, mentoring, and any leadership or management control stuff from Dave, then please do get in touch. Thank you very much, and we'll see you for another podcast soon.
Thanks very much, Nick.
Cheers.